When you're angry and frustrated and want to move past it, you're likely coming from a place of fear. In this fear state, even if we're unaware of where the fear is coming from, we can generate anger and frustration. We might find ourselves agitated or with little patience for circumstances or the people around us. This can be caused by an imbalance of the heart chakra and the hatha. And the best way to find balance of the heart is to look for ways to cultivate kindness and compassion, not just for others, but often we need to find it for ourselves. I'm Sherlock and am so grateful to be guiding you through the class. Before we get started with the flow, if you're already finding value in this video, give the like button some love and be sure to subscribe if you're new here. I'd really appreciate it. With this practice, we'll move through postures to balance the internal organs and the energy centers by really focusing on opening the heart space. 1, so that we're able to let go of those fearful emotions, and 2, to allow ourselves to receive as well. Really find that balance. Open the heart, remind yourself you are loved, you are compassionate as you let go of anger and fear. Let's meet on the mat. Let's begin this practice with Samavriti, a equal inhale to equal exhale length pranayama. You can close down the eyes, maybe bringing one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, just coming in line with our intention for the practice to open our heart, to find kindness and compassion, and release anger and frustration from fear. Grounding down through the sit bones, lift up through the crown. Gaze comes inward and just above the midpoint between the brow. As you breathe in, fill the pelvic bowl, the belly, the heart. As you breathe out, allow the body to relax. The shoulders melt away from the ears. Navel draws toward the spine and there's a slight contraction of the pelvic floor. Let's begin our pranayama as we breathe in for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, continue the counting in your mind. Equal exhale to equal inhale. Really allowing that inhale to fill the heart. And the exhale to release and let go of all that no longer serves you. Activating our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest state, and telling our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight state, to release and let go now. We don't need it right now. Continue with the equal inhale length to equal exhale length, following the cadence of your own breath. Just for the next minute or so, and I'll let you know when it's time to return. On the next inhale, release the hands to the knees if they're not already. Allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Eyes can remain closed as you observe any sensations throughout the body. Does the heart feel more open? On the front line of the body and the back line. Does the mind feel a little more calm? A little less chatty? How does the body feel? Does the body feel a little more relaxed? A little less sensitized, a little less tense? Gently flutter the eyelids open. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Draw the palms to meet. Exhale. Allow the hands to fall to the heart center. Just take a moment to recenter. Come to a supine position. Knees are pointing to the sky, so the feet are about hips width apart. Soles are planted towards the earth. We're going to come into a dynamic bridge series. As we inhale, we push into the soles of the feet, engage the glutes, lift the hips, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands slowly to meet the hips, and the hips and the hands meet the earth. Now we'll take it one step further, and our inhale and our exhale will be coming back to that Samavriti, so equal inhale length to equal exhale length. And the movement takes as long as the breath in 6 counts. As we inhale, nice and slow, we count to 6 in the mind as we lift the hips, sweep the arms overhead. Counting to 6 on the exhale, bringing the arms back to meet the hips. And the hips and the arms meet the mat. Continue this sequence 4 more times, following the cadence of your own breath in alignment with a 6 count inhale, 6 count exhale. Slow and meditative as we allow the breath and the inhale to create space throughout the heart. In that space, we find kindness and compassion. Because with kindness and compassion, we're able to let go of the fear that creates our anger and our frustration. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the hips, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, slow and meditative, bring the arms back to meet the hips, and the hips and the hands meet the mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Good. Engage the core. Press into the elbows. Come to find a seated position. Bring the sole of the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Ground the sit bones. Left foot can be at the glute of the right hip. Lift up through the crown. Rotate to the right from the navel. Hug the right knee with the left arm and bring the right arm behind. Just coming into our Ardha Matsyendrasana, our seated twist. As we breathe in, we find extension through the crown, breathing into our internal organs. And as we breathe out, we rotate a little deeper. The body softens. We're just finding some balancing energy from the breath throughout the center of the system. Inhale, unravel from the twist. Come back to center. Switch the legs. Bring the sole of the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Ground down through the sit bones. Hug the left knee. Take the right arm out to the back. Find length and extension through the spine as we create space with the inhale. And with the exhale, we soften the body. Perhaps we go a little deeper into the twist. And we open a little more through the heart. Unravel from the twist, come back to center. Roll over the knees, come to find all fours. Shoulders are over the wrists, fingertips are spread wide. Knees and feet are about hips width apart. Tuck the toes. Sweep the tail to the sky, downward facing dog. Engage the core. Send the tail up and back. Micro bend in the knees. Inhale, gazes to the top of the mat. Step forward, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Lower the hands, inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Slight bend in the upper back as we draw the tail toward the earth. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins, find a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, frame the front feet, step back into a plank, whole body activation. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. Or you can draw the elbows to the side body, lower down halfway, come to Chaturanga. Push through the tops of the feet. Lift the torso. Shoulder blades melt down the back. Thighs are away from the mat, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Sweep the tail to the sky, downward facing dog. Internally rotating those elbows toward each other, opening up through the chest. Inhale, gazes to the top of the mat. Step or hop forward, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Lower the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, bring the navel to the thighs, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins, find a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, frame the front feet. Step or hop back into plank. Whole body activation, lower down, Chaturanga. Come to the tops of the feet. Push through the palms, upward facing dog. I'm just going to breathe into our upward facing dog here. Pressing into the palms, opening up through the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades melt down the back, thighs are away from the mat. Allow the breath to blossom from the base of the spine, opening up into the collarbone. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Good. Exhale, tuck the toes. Sweep the tail to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, gazes to the top of the mat. Step or hop forward. Hands to shins, find a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Lower the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, slight bend in the upper back. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Frame the front feet, step back into plank, whole body activation as we move through our sun salutation. Draw the elbows to the side body, lower down, chaturanga. Come to the tops of the feet, push through the palms, upward facing dog. As you inhale, the breath blossoms and rises from the seat, through the belly, opening up through the heart. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Send the tail to the sky. Inhale, lower the knees. Come to the mat. Tuck the toes. Bring the hips back to the heels. We're just going to open up through the feet. Coming into our little toe squat. So we're going to breathe into any discomfort here. So we open up through that energy, through the soles of the feet. They spend so much energy helping us out through the day, keeping us upright. And just lifting up through the crown, creating space as we breathe in. Opening up through the heart. Breathing into any discomfort. As you feel the intensity, maybe you're feeling a burn, not just through the soles of the feet, but maybe in other areas of the lower body. And take this moment just to send the breath to those areas and send kindness and compassion to those spaces. Using the exhale to release any fear, any judgment. And in releasing the fear and the judgment, we're letting go of anger and frustration. One more breath. Good, lean forward. Come to a neutral tabletop position. Pat out the tops of the toes. Allow the energy to flow. Bring the hips back to the heels and just shift the hips over to the left. Come to find your back on the mat. Toes and soles of the feet are planted on the earth. Knees are pointing to the sky. We're going to press, arms are resting beside the side of the body. Press into the soles of the feet. We'll come back to our bridge, the one we started off with at the beginning of this practice. So we're going to press into the soles of the feet. Lift up through the hips, energetically draw the inner thighs toward each other. As we breathe in, witness the breath as it opens through the front body, filling and trickling into the heart. And as we breathe out, we find that strength and stability as the navel draws toward the spine. It's a gentle engagement of the glutes. We don't want to be clenching them. They're just there to support the hips in their suspended state. One more breath as you open up through the heart. Exhale, lower the hips. Good. Now we're going to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana, our full wheel pose. So if you find that that's a little too intense for you, you can come back into the bridge while some of us come into our full wheel. Coming into the full wheel, bringing the fingertips to the shoulders, pointing toward the bottom of the mat, so pointing towards the heels. Oh, make sure your hair isn't under your fingertips, otherwise you might get stuck. So we're going to press into the soles of the feet, press into the palms, lift up through the hips, press and lift the chest. Allow the head and neck to hang, really opening through the front body, opening through the heart. Use the breath to create the posture. Remembering it doesn't matter how long we're in the pose. What matters is how long we're in the pose before we become emotional. How long we're in the pose before we surrender to fear. We use the breath to create space as we lift up through the heart. And in that space, we find kindness and compassion. One more full breath here. Lowering the head and neck first. Bring the torso to meet. Extend the legs out long. Allow the arms to rest beside the body. And just take a moment to feel the benefits of that heart opening back bend. On the next inhale, send the feet to the ceiling. We'll just come into legs up the wall. Ankles and heels are over the knees are over the hips. And we're just allowing the legs and the feet to suspend here. And let gravity do its work. Nice little counter pose for our deep opening back bend. Bend into the knees. Gently rock up to a seat. Coming into Janu Shirshasana. So sending the right leg out to the side. Bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Shift your torso in the same direction as the right leg. Inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Lean forward, fold over that right leg. Maintain the length in the spine, grounding down through both sit bones. You might find that the left hip opens a little bit or comes off the mat, and that's perfectly fine. We just want to maintain the integrity of the spine here. So as we lift up and inhale, find length and extend through the crown. And as we exhale, maybe we can fold a little deeper. Beginning to activate that parasympathetic nervous system, letting our body know it's coming back to time to rest and digest after we've built that heat and created that beautiful opening through the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, lift the torso. Extend the left leg out long. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Rotate the torso so it's tracking in the same direction as the left leg. Point the toes to the sky. Find and create space through the spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, hinge at the hip. Fold forward. Breathe in. Take the breath from the base through the torso into the collarbone, reaching up through the crown, creating space throughout the vertebrae. Exhale, hinging at the hip, folding a little deeper, feeling and breathing into that left hamstring. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of a stretch through the right hip flexors. Inhale, we lengthen, maintain the integrity of the spine. So if we find we're rounding here, gently walk back out of the fold. Find that nice long spine and begin to fold. Again, just coming to where your edge is, maintaining that nice long spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Allow the body to soften. Inhale, lift the torso. Come to find a supine position. Extend the left leg out long. Send the right foot and leg to the sky. You can grasp hold of the big toe. And if that's a little out of your reach, just bring the hands to the back of the thigh. Back of the big thigh. just the thigh, just the back of the thigh. There's a nice gentle opening here, so we can, as we inhale, we can find and extend through the length of the heel. Shoulders can remain grounded on the mat. And as we exhale, we might be able to just gently bring the thigh closer toward the navel. Maybe you're grasping hold of that big toe. The left knee is still tracking towards the ceiling, as are the toes, so there's gentle engagement there. One more full breath. Bend that right knee and just bring it to meet the mat. Send the left leg to the sky. Again, option to have the hands behind the top of the thigh, maybe behind the calf. Or if you want to grasp hold of the big toe with the index and the middle finger of the left hand, you can do that too. Inhale, reaching through the heel of the foot. Exhale, making sure that that shoulder is still grounded and connected to the earth. There's a gentle engagement of the right leg as the knee points to the sky, toes point to the sky. And we breathe in, take the breath to the back of the leg, the back line of the left side of the body, creating space. Bend into that left knee. Extend it out long. Bring the feet to about hips width apart. Maybe they come to the edge of the mat. Allow the feet to fall to the sides of the mat. Arms rest beside the body. Gently tuck the shoulder blades underneath the chest so we can open through the front of the heart, ground through the back of the heart. Relax the jaw. Release any furrow in the brow and let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. As you become aware of the breath, the inhale fills the torso like water filling a glass. And the exhale softens and releases the body into the earth. We notice that on the inhale, the breath, the life force energy creates space throughout the body, throughout the heart. And in that space, we find stillness. In that space, we're able to release and give ourselves permission to surrender into the accepting and non-judgmental energy of the earth and the world around us. Bring your awareness back to your breath. A calming inhale and the peaceful exhale. Gently move the fingers and the toes. Allow the head and neck to rock from side to side. And when you're ready, roll to your most comfortable side and observe. Press into your free palm, come to find a comfortable seat. Eyes can remain closed. As we shift our focus, moving from the mat to the world off the mat, remembering that to open our heart is to open our awareness to the idea that to receive is possible and to offer is accepted. Remind yourself that you are loved and you are open and you are whole. In reminding ourselves of those things, we're able to release anger and fear and frustration. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Draw the energy of your practice into the palms of your hands. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center, allowing the practice to reside here, ready to offer any of its teachings to others and particularly ourselves in those moments of challenge. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for your practice, and thank yourself for coming to the mat today. If you want to continue on with opening the heart and finding a really heart-centered practice and moment, I recommend this meditation right here. Keep making magic in this world from your place at your own pace.